Welcome back to another episode of Blockchain and Beyond. As always, I'm your host Farzan. On today's episode, we're going to be discussing rekeying and specifically rekeying on Algorand. We're going to discuss why we need it, what situations it can help in, and how a little bit of how it actually works and how a user at the end of the day can carry this out themselves and how it can benefit them. So it's good to start with a bit of context. So probably about 1.5 to 2 weeks ago, a number of wallets on the Algorand blockchain were attacked and they had their funds withdrawn. In total, there was somewhere between 10 and 20 accounts, and at the time, so about 2 weeks ago, the total value of the amount lost was about $10 million or just under that. And this included assets such as Algorand, so Algorand's native token, USDC, and also a few others. In some cases, people's NFTs were also stolen, but there was a very small number of wallets actually affected compared to the number of user wallets that exist. So within the community, some investigations began, one from the wallet providers and also a few other independent parties where they interviewed some of the victims, and they identified that the one common theme between them was a single wallet provider. In this case, it was MyAlgo, and that was the only major commonality that they could find within the interviews that they had done with these victims. As a security measure, MyAlgo issued a statement saying that everyone should rekey their wallets, and rekeying is a function which is specific to Algorand. I have not really seen it on many other blockchains, but it is really super interesting. So rekeying is a way for you as a user to change which wallets have control of your address and its associated assets. So if I create a wallet and I believe that it may have been compromised, I can create another wallet, and without having to transfer all of my assets, I can give control of the old wallet to the new wallet. So this saves a lot of time, and it also allows you to effectively keep a single public address, but you can rotate the private keys that you're using behind the scenes. So in the real world, or a more familiar example, what this may look like is changing your passwords. A lot of companies or websites say you should change your passwords, every 3 months, every 6 months, every 12 months. Even a lot of workplaces have mandatory password requirements where they will say, please change your passwords every 6 months, or they may even force you to do so. And this is again just for security because during that period, your original password, or in this case, your keys, may have been somehow lost or stolen. So by rekeying your accounts, you're effectively changing the password, which gives you a layer of security against the risk that your keys may have otherwise been compromised. I think most of us can immediately see the benefit of this feature here. And yeah, if you're not too familiar with how keys actually work, so whenever you generate a wallet, you have two pairs of keys. You have a private key or a spending key, and also a public key with a related public address. So to actually send a transaction requires you to sign the transaction, which is a way of digitally verifying that you are the one who sent this transaction. You sign with your private key, and anyone using your public key, which is a publicly known string, can actually verify that yes, it was indeed you who signed this transaction. So this falls into the area of public key cryptography. So people can see your public address and use that to send transactions to you. That's how most transactions on all blockchains work. You're given a public address and you can send said assets over to them. But in order to send the asset in the first place, you actually sign it with your private key. So rekeying does a bit of a swap. So instead of you using your original private key on your original wallet, you can delegate control over this to a secondary wallet. And by doing this, you effectively reduce the need to transfer all of your assets when you're changing wallets. So, and that's another big thing, right? So on Algorand, you can't just send all of your assets directly to another wallet. What you need to do is on your first wallet is to opt in to all of these different assets, whether these are NFTs or different tokens or different assets. You have to one by one manually opt into each of these. And this is again a very Algorand specific feature, and it forms a part of the security structure on Algorand. So by having to opt into each different address or each different asset rather, it prevents you being spammed by fake or otherwise malicious tokens or NFTs. And we've seen this on other chains. So, for example, Ethereum, you may get, or even Polygon, you may get airdropped a fake token from a project. So this token will be imitating the original project, and they may direct you to a malicious link or malicious website which looks like the original website. You then go in, you sign your 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 transactions, and they can effectively steal your assets. So on Algorand, you can sort of prevent this by having to manually opt into each asset that you wish to hold in your wallet. This, of course, comes with some downsides. Things like airdrops become a lot more difficult. It's, you can't just airdrop someone. You have to let them know in advance to say, hey, please opt into this asset, and on this date and time, we will airdrop it to you. So it adds another hurdle for the end user. But the good thing is, a lot of developers, when they're building the applications, they can actually build these opt-in transactions into the normal set of transactions. So you generally won't even know that you've opted into these new assets, and they will just appear in your wallet. So there's definitely ways around it. So on Algorand to rekey, using your old wallet, you send a very specific or special transaction to your new wallet. And this transaction is one publicly viewable, and it publicly states that me as this address, as this old address, is giving the spending authority over to this new address, and that is final. So once that transaction is confirmed on Algorand, which literally takes like less than 5 seconds, your new wallet has full spending authority over the old address, and the old private key for the old wallet has no weight anymore. It cannot be used to carry out any transactions. So this is quite a advanced feature on for blockchains, but at the same time, a lot of wallet providers on Algorand actually now offer this, especially since the attacks happened. A number of wallets have actually announced that they will now be supporting this feature. So the two main ones are Pera Wallet, so that's Pera, which is A used to be Algorand's official wallet, but they did a rebrand to Pera Wallet. And we also have DeFly, so DEFLY, which is again another mobile wallet, and they actually have the features to allow you to rekey your accounts between new accounts and old accounts. Both of these actually even support ledger accounts. So for most people like myself, when I rekeyed my wallets, I used the Pera Wallet mobile app, but they now have also updated their desktop app. So for people who are more used to the desktop, to actually go ahead and do that. So there's a lot of solutions now and a lot of guides that make it a lot easier to actually rekey your accounts to protect yourself in the future. And yeah, regarding the attack that happened or the stolen assets, investigations are still going on as to the root cause, but some of the funds have been frozen by some exchanges, which is really good news. It means these exchanges are on the ball. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Just a little quick one. As always, feel free to reach out, and yeah, I'd love to hear from you.